Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope you've enjoyed your Wednesday. It's looking pretty miserable out there now, so you can definitely tell autumn's on its way. It's needed, I can't lie. I don't want to have to turn on a fan every single day just to have a normal day at home. We've got a little bit to talk about. We've obviously got a bit of an update around the squad that was announced today for the Premier League. We've got an update around Ivan Perisic and a potential move away, as well as quite some sobering quotes from Richarlison about his mental health. So I'll read you his quotes in a bit, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the squad first, because you can see on the thumbnail there's a certain Hugo Lloris that's on my thumbnail. This came out earlier, which I was quite surprised about, that he's actually been included in the 25-man squad. I wasn't sure how to think of this. I wasn't sure, should I be angry? Should I be happy? Should I be upset? Should I be intrigued? And I've gone for a mixture of them all. Look, very capable deputy. I don't think anyone in the world would say that Hugo Lloris couldn't be a great number two. The issue is, he's a number two at the club that he was just club captain of and hasn't left and come back. He's still here. He's wanted to leave, but he's still here. I think there's a part of me that is intrigued by it, because I think he's kind of just waiting till January. Something happens, an injury happens to a top class keeper that they need to get replaced, and Hugo Lloris is there to kind of step in and be that keeper. My only intrigue is, what happens if Vicario gets suspended, or heaven forbid gets injured? Is it Fraser Forster, or is it Hugo Lloris that's going to be the backup goalkeeper? Is he even going to be on the first team squad? Is he going to be even on the bench? I really don't know. There's nothing out there to say what his situation is in terms of, is he a number two or a number three? But look, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because it's Hugo and he's been fair to the club for the majority of the time. I know people harp on one game in, nearly however long career he's had at Spurs, about one game last season. But he's always cared and he's always loved the club. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt just purely on that alone, that, it's a good thing for the club. And yeah, maybe he might then move in January to a club that is desperate for a first team keeper, is desperate for someone to come in, and he can be that. He's definitely a serviceable keeper. There's no issues on that. But yeah, there is the update around the squad. So if you do want to have a look at it, please do. I don't think there's anything shocking in there, if I'm honest. I'm really not surprised by any of it. Yes, Dyer and Lloris are in the squad, but who was shocked by that? Lloris potentially, but I wasn't shocked about Dyer whatsoever. So there's that. Talking a little bit about the Ivan Perisic situation, Ekrem Kunur again put out today that the Hadjuk split wants to sign 34-year-old Croatian player Ivan Perisic. So it has been announced their intention. It has been announced that they want him. And you know what? I said yesterday in a video that if he's moving on and it suits all parties, and we're going to use his spot in the squad to bring in maybe a quality youth player or an interesting prospect or a project, I'm not against that, because Perisic isn't going to be starting every single game. He's going to come on for 15, 20 minutes here and there. He might play a 90 due to injury or suspension here and there, and he's more than capable of giving you a solid 90. There's no denying that. He might be in his mid-30s, but he's still very, very good. You see it for Croatia all the time. You just think, you got to the Premier League too late. You should have been here at like 28 and you'd have been an unbelievable player in the Premier League. And he was an unbelievable player in the Bundesliga and the Serie A. But it's always that, imagine if he was here 5 or 6 years earlier than he did. He would have really torn up the Prem. You'd have known it as well. But if it suits the player, if it suits Hadjuk, who are going to, hopefully win. If we're not, as long as we're not paying any wages, that's the important thing. Because if we have this idea that we're paying wages, then I don't think it's worth it. Might just hold on to him at the end of the season and kind of say, look, depending on our situation, because if we're fighting on, for top four and, we've got the FA Cup and things like that, it might be worth just hanging on to him for 6 more months. What's losing him on a free compared to paying him, I don't know, 3 or 4 million? It's really nothing in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Premier League earnings and things like that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I think more will come out about that. Just a quick update, actually. I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but really quickly, Spurs announced today that the club will be hosting a fan forum at the Spurs Stadium on Tuesday, September 19th, giving supporters a chance to hear from a panel, including Chairman Daniel Levy, alongside head coaches and first team players from both our men's and women's teams. I just hope they ask genuine, probing questions to Daniel Levy and put him on the spot. I think this thing should be a thing. If he was, do you know what? I think if Daniel Levy was a lot more transparent and he was always having that dialogue with the fans, he would have a hell of a relationship with the fans. And if he goes, look, we wanted to spend on X, Y, and Z, but we couldn't because of this. And he was just transparent. I know it's a long shot, but if he was quite honest and transparent, like some owners are, you see it. Some owners are very honest and transparent with their fans, and that's why they have such a good relationship with their fans. If he was having that with us, he would have a lot more fans on side. There'd be a lot more fans that don't want him to leave. There are some that don't want him to leave. There are some that do. There are some that are kind of sitting on the fence, but probably more teeting to say, probably leave. And there's some that are kind of basically bought by signings. If he was a bit more honest and he was a bit more upfront and he was actually in front of camera a little bit more, because that's one thing, Conte said, chairmans and director of footballs never answer for anything, but it's always me. Why is it always me that answers for everything? I don't buy the players. And as a head coach, you don't buy the players. You're a head coach. You're not the manager. There's a difference between those two titles. And I think he if he had that, or if someone that was a decision maker did that, would go a long, long way. Let's talk about Richarlison, because I found this very, very interesting. And do you know what? I really respected him more. And I said to multiple people in these comments, I've studied it in videos, I will stick by him, no issues. This made me love him a little bit more. And he says, he basically opened up and talked about some things. He says, I'm going to go back to England and seek psychological help from a psychologist, and I'll work on my mind. That's it. Come back stronger. I believe I will be in the next squad. I will work for that. It's about getting a good streak at Tottenham. This week, I'm going to sit down and talk to him. I need a good streak, get the rhythm of the game, and get here well. On the field, I'm a happy team player. I try to help. Sometimes things don't go the way we want, and I think that is part of off-field side that ended up getting in the way. Even though you want to do things right, it ends up going wrong. I'll continue to focus on the club. The storm has passed. I went through a turbulent time in the last 5 months off the field. Now things are right at home. People who only had an eye on my money walked away from me. Now things will start to flow, and I'm sure I'll get a good run at Tottenham and we'll make things happen again. That was really, really honest of him to say quite some interesting things there. I think the psychologist's help will always help any footballer. I think there's some, not just footballers, NBA players could do with that. NFL players could do with that. And a lot of American sports stars do seek out psychologist help. It will always help. It'll always aid you. And it's honest. It's beautiful that he had that self-reflection, honesty to kind of think, yeah, if I had this, I think it will help me on the field. It will help me off the field mentally, which will then help me off in the field for Spurs. And actually, I like that he says, look, I just need to get a bit of a run under my belt, and I can deliver. And I'm going to put the faith in him, because I'm not going to crucify him for 3 games of football. I don't think anyone should crucify him for 3 games of football. We've had players that have turned out to be world-class players who we gave 3 games of football to. They're rubbish and actually ended up being unbelievable. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt for sure. Absolutely. He's in an interesting position because he's filling in for boots of Spurs' potential best ever player. It's hard. It's difficult. I mean, to let you know, I support the New England Patriots in America. Tom Brady left. And since that day, we've not been the same. He's retired as well and things in that time twice. And things have not been the same. It's been very difficult to fill the boots of someone as great as that person. And it's the same with Harry Kane. It's very difficult to fill those boots. So we just need to be patient with that situation. We need to take time. And do you know what? You never know. Richarlison could absolutely smash it. You just don't know. He's Brazil's number 9 for a reason. I will give him that as well. I'll back him. I'm interested to see what he does. Look, he's got a big run up till Christmas now where he's going to get a lot of game time. And imagine if Son actually gets put back at left wing because Richarlison's doing the business. I don't think any of us would complain. But anyway, guys, that's in the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below around the squad list. Happy Lloris is in the squad. Do you think there's a benefit of him being in the squad? There's a nice question that I want to engage with you on as well in that. Perisic leaving Hadjuk split potentially in January. Would you be opposed against that? And obviously Richarlison's quote. So I'm interested to see how you guys feel about that. I'm hoping for some real positivity to back that man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.